All right. Let me know if you can see my table here, and if someone could just give me a thumbs up or just would be very, very helpful for me. I'm going to go over to my laptop and see if I am live on that side, because that should tell me if you can see me or not. I'm not sure if I can see comments on my phone, so a thumbs up would be very helpful. All right. So, and I see zero watching. So let's just figure it out. Technology. It's Wing It Wednesday. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wing it today and see what happens here. I'm going to go to view my channel. It shows that I'm live here. There we go. I see it. So it was some glitch with YouTube, I think. So awesome. I am here live coming from a very yucky day, another humid day. The East Coast is getting slammed with humidity, rain, no sun. And now tomorrow it's going to be like 90 something. So right now it says it's 69 degrees and cloudy and 100% humidity. I am darn sure. And I am so happy my hike is done because I hate hiking in this kind of weather. So my friends are hiking in it right now, and I feel so bad for them. But they promised me, they're from South Carolina, and they hike in the humidity, so they must be used to it. But me being from Vermont, we're not so used to it. So anyway, good morning. It is Wing It Wednesday, and if you watched on Monday's live, I mentioned that I would take my June card club, which are from the Cheers and Sips bundle, and I'm going to make them more of a feminine look. I've cut all the pieces because I've got to head down to Connecticut after my live here to take care of my grandsons for the next day and a half. So I'll need to get on the road probably by 11:30, so they can go to a concert. So I'm happy to help out whenever I can. I pulled some ink colors from my storage bin, and I've chosen Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, Blackberry Bliss, and Strawberry Slush. And I might go grab a Daffodil Delight, but we'll just play it by ear right now. So those are the colors we'll be using. Again, Strawberry Slush, Blackberry Bliss, Mossy Meadow, and Old Olive. And the stamp set is called Cheers and Sips. It's a stamp set, photopolymer stamp set, and it also comes with dies. And some of the dies do cut out pieces from the designer paper. But as you can see, we've got some ice cubes, strawberries, oranges, berries, olives, cherries, celery, glasses. This is a stir stick, and then we've got some kind of foliage there. So then the dies are over here, and they do cut out certain items from, this is one I used for Card Club too, so this needs to go in here. So they do cut out foliage pieces, the strawberry, you can stamp, or I'm not sure if you can die cut out of the designer paper. I know you can with this one and this one here, that's the tall glass, and also the umbrella. So give it a try if you don't have this one. It's great for summertime, cheers and sips, because we all like those fruity drinks. But I have a customer of mine that really doesn't really care for the beverage look. So I thought, Monday it came to my mind, hey, why don't I flip it and make some more feminine looking cards? So that's what I'm planning to do. I don't know how they'll turn out because it's Wing It Wednesday and I have no plan whatsoever. And again, I did cut the pieces. So that is the stamp set bundle we're going to be working with. The paper, I'll show it to you. Let me just clear up my area, because with our 12 by 12 paper, we need a lot of room in front of us. All right, good morning, Debbie. Nice to see your name pop up. All right, so this is what I've got left, plus 2 extra sheets though. So it's called Celebratory Sips, and the coordinating colors with Stampin' Up! Are Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Bubble Bath, Cloud Cover, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lime Twist, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, and Timid Tiger, and of course white. And that is great because it gives us so many choices of ink colors. And let me just briefly go over what the paper looks like. So this is the one here where you can die cut. Let me grab that tall glass. It's this one right here. You can die cut, it goes this way, some of these pieces. If you want to, you can do that one. And also, let me find the other glass one. So that's the kind of the brighter side. And then on the back side, we've got some cloud cover stars. And then here's one that is more of the beverage look with some fruity strawberries, limes, oranges, and I'm just looking to see. No, some of these images are very easy to fussy cut, as you'll see in one of the cards I created for a club that I fussy cut every single item out. So it's very, very easy to do with this paper. And here's some Old Olive. And then, oh yeah, here's the one. This is the sheet where you can take this die here and die cut the images that are the shorter glass. And then here is the other one that's the tall glass. Okay, so you can go either use this one or the one I showed you before. You might have a little bit of white showing, but this one will cut out quite a bit of these. Now, if you don't want to, like, see, if you die cut that one right there, you're going to lose all of that area of the orange. So you might want to just fussy cut that one out, and, you know, these as well. But the ones that are, like, don't have anything popping out of the top are perfect. So that's fun when you have a die that will cut out our designer paper. And then here's the back side of this one. This one's so bright, but I am using this pattern today because, you know, I struggled with this one and I didn't use it in clubs, so I'm gonna use it today. Here's a great one that has all kinds of, you know, your fruits on it, and this would go great with that recipe book kit that I made. And then this one here, it's just got some. It's really hard to tell what these little, they kind of look like cherries, but, and strawberries, but kind of like a water color, like painting or something. I'm not really sure what that one is, but, and here's the floral pattern, which we'll be using this one as well. And then on the back side, we got those diagonal stripes with Timid Tiger and Peach Pie. So those are the designs that come in that pack. You get 2 sheets of every page there. And I've got a bunch of scraps over in my little plastic thing that I might gravitate to during today's class. I'm not really sure. I'll have those handy off to the side. And I think we're all set to go. Let's see. All right, so let me see which one I want to start with first. I think what I'll do is I'll start with the one that's on the bottom because that's the first one I cut out. And let me just flip these over. Our embellishments are the holographic resin dots, and they come in 3 different sizes. I don't know if it tells us the exact quantity on here. Yes, 190. So they're 4mm, 5mm, and 6mm. All right, so that's those. And then our ribbon is the really, really pretty open weave trim. It's 1 1/2 inch wide, and it's just nice. It's really nice to use as a highlight background, which you'll see I've done in the original cards here. And I'll try to create the cards exactly as I have them, but we'll need to, you know, change them out a little bit because this one here has that die cut glass, which I'm not going to make beverage cards today. All right, so that's really super pretty to use, and it does tie bows really nicely. So I really like this one. I've used it for a bunch of projects, especially that the recipe book kit. I use that as well. So, all right, here's this one that is our first card that we'll be creating. Cheers, it's your day. And it opens like this, a bookbinding card. Now, I did not cut all these pieces of designer paper. I kind of might, but I'm not quite sure. So we've got a piece of white in here so you can have a place to write on. And it's just kind of a bookbinding fun flap type of card. So I love how sometimes it's not on this one, but when you wrap your ribbon around, sometimes you see it on the inside of the card, which I really, really love. So, all right, let's try to figure out this one. What I'll do, and here's the envelope that I created with this card here, so it matches really nicely. You can also add your designer paper on the envelope flap, or you can stamp as well in the lower corner there. Some post offices like it, some don't, so you might want to check out yours. All right, so the paper design I chose was this one here, and it was in order, so I cut it like a puzzle piece. So this one over here is going to go on that side, and then these will match up, so you can see how this was like this, and then I cut it down to size. So these are 1 7/8 of an inch across by 4, and then this one here, I think it's 7/8. Let me just double check here. Yep, 7/8 of an inch. Okay, so very easy cutting. Put those over there. I've got my Stylish Shapes die cut here, which is that banner, and I'll be stamping Cheers, It's Your Day on this one. And then also I have my Stylish Shapes circle. This is, I think, the next to the last biggest one, or it's the biggest one. I can't remember on that one. And my closet door is shut, so I can't briefly look over there and check it out. So, and that's strange because I rarely close that door and it's shut. All right, so let's stamp. We're going to use our piercing mat here because we're using photopolymer stamps. I don't have all my stamps mounted on blocks yet, just because I'm really not sure what I'm going to be stamping. But I do know on this one, I'm going to stamp on the Blackberry Bliss, because that's, for me, a dark color in the pattern, which is a little bit more, I know there's a lot of greens here, but my eyes right now are gravitating towards the Blackberry Bliss and the Mossy Meadow. So I'm going to go with the Blackberry Bliss for the sentiment, because I might be stamping with the foliage pieces in the greens. So let's just get the word cheers stamped, and it's your day, and then figure it out from there. All right, so let's just stamp this way up in the upper left corner there. And on a humid day, sometimes stamping works and sometimes it doesn't. So you'll have to bear with me if it doesn't look good on your side. I can't control that humidity. All right, so this one is a really small stamp. It says, it's your day. It fits on an A block perfectly, but since we don't have A blocks anymore, you might want to choose a B block. All right, so cheers, it's your day. I stamped that a little too high, but that's okay. Now, I'm not going to stamp on this one yet because I want to see what this is all going to look like. So we're going to just set this ink aside for the moment, and I'm going to actually start assembling the card, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do with the circle. I don't really need to use it, but I kind of want to, just to show how sometimes it's very simple to recreate your club cards into something else. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to add the designer paper to the top here, and then we'll work with the trim. So again, I've got this over here in order of how I cut it. So it's looking like a puzzle, but when you take them apart, it does, you know, it kind of still does, but it's a little bit different. Let me grab my seal and we'll start adding our adhesive. And this one is going to go right here. And then we'll add the other two, which are the same exact size. All right, so we just got to remember to keep them in order. Now, you can break this up if you wanted to. So if you wanted to flip this one over to that side and then go here like that, and then you'll have your circle over here, maybe like this, and then we'll fill in this area with something. You can do that. It's totally your call. Me, I love greens, you guys know that, but I kind of like this all floral today, so that's what I'll be doing. So let's turn this one over. I guess I'm working with Seal Plus today. That's really sticky adhesive. And now I want to match up the top and bottom of the designer paper here and try to get it as straight as I can. And then we're going to move over on this side. You may want to open it up to see that panel a little bit better. Sometimes I have to do that depending on how tired my eyes are. And then I went a little bit over the edge with my adhesive. So if you just take it and roll it back on itself, that would be just perfect. All right, so we're going to go open this up, and this is going to go here, just being careful that it's going in the correct way because this is a directional pattern. Okay, I'm back. I don't know what happened there, but sorry about that. I have my ringer off, but apparently I need to do something else so it doesn't disturb YouTube. So just hold it on just a second because I need to get my laptop back up so I can see. Well, maybe I just need to back out again and go back in. Oh, Lord. I'm winging it on Wednesday, you guys, just like I said I would be. All right, let me get to my channel and live, and there I am. Perfect. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right, so we need to add the trim, and we need to add it underneath this area here, because that's what I did. I wrapped it around and tied a bow or a knot on the front. So I'm going to cut this ribbon down to size. I don't like to waste ribbon if I don't have to. So I'm just going to pull this over about an inch over the edge and over here as well. And we'll just trim it right here. All right, so now we don't want this showing when you open up the card. So you're going to have to remember to kind of fold it in half, and then we'll bring it around. Again, just make sure your tails are extending over the top and the bottom of the card. And then I'm just going to tie a knot. You can tie a bow if you want. You don't need to use the ribbon. It's totally up to you. I call it ribbon, but I think it's trim, actually. Let me see. Open weave trim with a T. All right, so I'm gonna cut down my tails. So I'll put them together and I'm just gonna angle cut. That way they're the same size. And then I can add a mini glue dot underneath. That's gonna secure it a little bit better. Let me grab some of my little dots here. And I got a new take your pick tool, you guys. And it's not this one, it's my other one. It's on my other desk. My other one was very old and kind of falling apart, just got worn out. So I had to get a new one. All right, so that's gonna stay put by just adding a little mini glue dot under there. Now you can use your Seal Plus, you can use tear and tape. Just make sure that your ribbon is in the middle here. So I've got it here. If you're adding tear and tape, you're gonna wanna put it here, here, and then maybe a little bit, tear a small piece off and put it on the top. If you're using Seal Plus, I think if you just kind of put your adhesive going down like this, you'll be okay. So we'll fold it over like that. So I'm going to use my Seal Plus. You can also move it out of the way too. And then you're going to want to make sure you've got adhesive on here because this is like the hinge type of thing. This is where it's going to get a lot of use, and it's okay to run your seal plus over that ribbon trim, excuse me, I said it again. And we're going to fold this over, and since it's kind of hard to rub this, I'm going to flip it over and I'll use my fingers here. You can also use your bone folder, which I would highly suggest doing because it's, you know, you want to get good pressure on there because you don't want this to come off. So there's our little flap. This is secured pretty well. Get that little backing off. Now let's figure out this circle. It's pretty big circle. So with Card Club, if you have a circle punch or another die, you could use this white die cut and kind of cut something else out. You don't have to strictly do what I do, but let's see what we can do with this. So if we add this just like the other one, and how about using some of that foliage? And there's 2 stamps in there that might work. And I've got my 2 greens, Old Olive. Boy, I need to clean my ink pads. Those are disgusting. And let's open these up. I'm going to practice probably on some white first, just so that I can grab, so I can figure out, should I be stamping in first, second, or third generation ink. Oh gosh, this is so humid today. My ink's not even staying very well. Look at that. That's crazy with a humid day. Look at how that stamped. But actually, I love that. It's kind of cool how that did that. All right, so that's with this one. And that's Mossy Meadow. Let's grab this one over here and stamp in Old Olive. 1, 2, and 3. So you can see, yeah, I don't know. I think adding like a really dark color on this circle is probably not going to work, but let's just give it a try. We're going to pretend this is a circle, and I know I want to stamp. If I'm adding this to sentiment right here, I know I'm going to want to stamp over in this area here. So let's try this one first. So my circle, actually, I can stamp it upside down. If I go like this, okay, and then we can, let's see. Oh, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but Yeah, I don't like that. So let's do this. I'm going to stamp in full strength, second, and third. Okay, so we've got that kind of like a foliage look. And then we can take our cheers and see if that's going to work. And don't forget, we've got our embellishments to add on there. You know what I might do? Hey, I wonder what it's going to look like if I keep going around the circle, kind of with just this one. Or kind of leave a space. And I'll go right here, here, and here. And then let's grab this here. Now remember, 3 is odd numbers, right? So I think I need to hit over in this area with some more green. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to take the smaller one here and add this one in because it's a little bit smaller. And Karen should have been stamping on our piercing mat, her brand new one, but I wasn't. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's try to see if that works. If it doesn't, I can just flip it over and try something different. Oh my goodness, I have a neighbor home today. That doesn't usually happen very much. Okay, so now I'm going to just try to figure out where I want this. I don't know if I like this or not, but I think it looks a little too busy now that I stamped 3 times. But that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I am going to pop this one up. So I just need dimensionals underneath this side over here because I'm going to extend it over. And of course, I forgot to grab my dimensionals, so I'll use some of the smaller ones. And I'll put this one right here. And then I need to only put dimensionals on one side. So if I wanted to open up this way, then they have to go on this side. But I can also put the circle on the left side and open it up this way. But if you do that, you cannot put your little banner past the little fold mark here or it's going to get crushed. Okay, so there's 2 ways you can do this. I'm going to put it on the right side just because my original one is done on the right side. So we'll, again, flip this over. And I know I need to put it on this side here, the little dimensionals. So we'll just probably put 3. Actually, no, I might have to use 5. 4 will work. And these little mini dimensionals came from a kit because I can tell they're made a little bit different. The kit dimensionals generally feel and are a little bit taller and thicker than the our normal ones in the catalog. So I really don't like all that foliage, but it'll have to do. And here I don't have any of the dimensionals showing, so that's great. On the inside, you can take, so on this one here, I designed it like this, which I really like that. So if you have lots of designer paper, small pieces to use, you can see I did not cut this one out as the puzzle. I just used scraps on the inside. Then use up your scraps. It'll still look perfect. All right, so then we can fold it. I do need to put something on the inside. Let's see. It does say, cheers, it's your day. And let's find my stamp set, which is over here. Can we add something? Let's celebrate. So let's grab that one out. And we'll add let's celebrate. And this one will fit really nicely on a B block. I just cleaned my blocks, so that's helpful. And I'm going to stamp this one in the Mossy Meadow. We'll add a different color to the inside. There. So we have a birthday card. Cheers, it's your day. Let's celebrate. Or it can be graduation. It can be anything that is cheerful. The envelope, I think what I would just do is I would do the same thing as I did on that little circle. And I would stamp my big foliage one. I'll just use the foliage one. So then I'll go 1, 2, and 3. And that's fine. You can also stamp. I remember doing this, seeing this before, where someone stamped on the lower corner here, and I thought that looked really fun to do that. So you have it on the back side, and you also have it on the front side. So that's something kind of fun to do. All right, so that is our card number 1, but we do need to embellish it. So let's get those holographic little shiny items here, and I'm going to use all 3 sizes. So we'll grab one of the largest ones. And I think I'm going to try to put this, let's see, let's go with over here, the medium one. I'm going to put them all in this circle. It might be too much, but let's see. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I don't know. It's a little busy for me. I probably should have just stopped with just these 2 and maybe just stamp one little floral over here. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, that's card number 1, and let's put them next to each other so we can kind of see what they both look like together. So we have, I'm going to clear this area out so we can see. Not the mess, but the creativity. All right, so here's my original card. And then here's the more like a feminine look. So you can use any of the DSPs in this pack and it will look really nicely. So to me, when I look at this one, I feel like that circle's too white. And then on this one over here, it's too heavy. So I need a little happy medium. So I'm not quite sure what to do on that, but it might look kind of cool if I would have stamped on the white circle here with one of the celery or something like that. So you can have some like, you know, that's stuff or like an umbrella on the circle and kind of match the glass up. I'm not sure. So anyway, that is number 1. And then our envelopes that go with it is this one here. And then we've got this one, which is, I just die cut that out. I am going to stamp on the back side of this card so I know it has been done. And I can use this one, or, oh gosh, I got some ink on there. That's from the silicone craft sheet. Don't ever do that, you guys. All right, so those are the 2 we've done for the first one. I am going to take my disinfectant wipes and I am going to clean off that mat so I don't mess up a card. Just get that ink off. Because it won't dry on the silicone craft sheet because nothing sticks to this. Permanently is what I want to say. The ink is sticking to it, but it's not, it's going on everything else. There, I'm going to give that a second to dry. It won't take, hopefully it won't take too long. It's rubbing alcohol in there. So, all right, so that was number 1. Let's see what we've got for number 2. We're using peach pie. So that is my inspiration here. And who knew? And then here's the front of that envelope. So these go together. And I really don't know what I'm going to do with this one, because our focal point is this right here. I'm going to try to take that embossed panel and make that the focal point, because it's beautiful. Now, where are those embossing folders? Because I don't know the names of them off the top of my head. And I did have them here on my desk somewhere, but we'll figure it out. I'm sure I'll come across them. They're probably right in front of me. Oh, yep, I see them right here. So I love the fact that these fit in the mini cut and emboss machine. And we get 2 different designs. So here's what they look like. They're called Glass and Gardens embossing folders. And you get 2 of them. So we get this really nice floral, which is on this one here. And then we also have this like diamond pattern, which I'll be using on another card. So you'll get to see that one in action as well. But this is just very nice as is. All right, so it's your day. Let's celebrate. I am going to, instead of using the diagonal pattern, I'm going to put this little floral pattern in there first. So what I want to do is I want to adhere it underneath the panel. So we see the embossed side, which the embossed side is where the image is coming at you. The debossed side is when the image is going downward. So we're going to have that embossed panel at the top. Instead of using a 4x5¼ piece of designer paper, you can just cut strips and add it to the edge of this panel, and that would be great. These are cut 3/4 of an inch. You could even go probably 1/2 inch. So let's grab this dry silicone craft sheet. I'm going to add my adhesive to the back side of this peach pie. I'll have more control of it if I do it this way. And then I can just simply put my designer paper down and then take the peach pie panel and put it over top. So I want about 1/2 inch showing. And then we'll do the same thing to the other side. And then again, about 1/2 inch showing. And then we can either pop this one up, or we can just adhere it straight down. This one is adhered straight down to the card base. I may, since this, like this has got a lot of things going on, I think I might pop this one up and maybe put some of that ribbon or trim underneath. But first I got to figure out my sentiment. It's your day, let's celebrate. I did not, did I take Timid Tiger? I did not, I don't think, brought that over. Hold on. So I'm going to use the Timid Tiger because that's the darker shade of orange. I like to use darker colors for my sentiments. Let me just clean off the Blackberry Bliss from the stamps we just used. And also the Mossy Meadow. And then my Angel Policy stamp. All right, so let me think about this. I don't think cheers will make it on here, but we can check. Oh, it will. Let's say cheers on this one. This is from the Unbounded Love dies. Okay, we'll leave that there. It's got to dry because it's humid. On the inside here, I just had stamped the cherry and strawberry slush, the orange and timid tiger, and then this foliage in lemon lime twist. This is timid tiger, all colors in the designer paper. I just love this little glass image on the front. That's an edge piece, you guys. Don't forget to use your edge pieces. All right, so I know I'm going to pop this one up. So let's grab some dimensionals, and I think I have some strips left from the other night, so let's do that. Let me cut them down so I don't waste. These also came from my kit. Speaking of kits, I have my independent living facility class on Friday because I had to reschedule that due to my hike. So we'll see them in just a couple days. So far I have 7 people joining me for a kit class. Okay, that should be enough. Let's press those down. I'm not going to take the backings off yet because I'm going to just play with this a little bit. So that's the front. And then cheers. It's going to have to go on here somewhere. You can, oh, it's going to be popped up too. So let's get that on there. I want to use the trim because that's in the original card. So we can put it maybe over here. Let's grab that trim, and I'm going to cut a small piece off just like which is on the original card. I'll cut it at an angle. And I hate to cover that up, so it's so pretty. Let's see if I can kind of make this a little interesting. Oh gosh, no. Maybe I just need to cut it down about the same size as the sentiment. And I'm going to cut it in half, lengthwise. Can you guys tell I'm hesitating on this one? I was thinking of tying a bow, string it around and put a bow over here. I think that'll be okay. So I'm going to tack this piece. Let's get this down first. Make sure they're all off. Oops, there's one more. All right, and then this is just going to get put on the front. Since it's 5.5 inches this way, it's going to go edge to edge on that card base. And then I'm just going to center the rest of it on the front, so top and bottom. I'm not getting out a ruler. I'm just going to use my eyes here. And then we'll press it down. You can also press it this way. And now we're going to work with this sentiment. We're going to add some CO Plus, probably like right in this area here. We'll add the little trim. And we'll add this over top. So now I've got a consistent look. Kind of similar to that. I really like this one. This is really pretty, actually. I wonder what it would look like if I added some Wink of Stella there. I'll give that a try in just a second. I still want to finish up the inside. So you can use the stripes. Just take a look and what does it look like? Actually, I need a piece of, here's my white. The true look is going to be like this. So you open it up. You've got the diagonals. Or if you just flip this over and add that white back, you can close it. And then what does it look like when you open it up? You're just going to open it up and there you go. This matches the front. So I'm going to pull this design into the inside, and I think that's going to look perfect. Something just went flying under my desk. Hopefully it's nothing I need for today. Cheers. And maybe I'll say to us or to you. Cheers to you. Let's do that. Really tiny, tiny stamp. I'm so glad I still have my A blocks. And I wrote to Stampin' Up saying they need to bring these back because I can't stamp very well using a B block. And I don't like the horizontal blocks that are skinny. My eyes do not like those. And of course the humidity really stinks for stamping. So let me just see if I can get that a little bit better. There we go. Just a quick up and down worked. All right, we'll just add some adhesive here. And we'll put this right in the center. You can actually see the timid tiger through the basic white. That's how humid it is here. Yikes. It's kind of like blends. I wonder what blends would do today on a humid day. All right, so let me just stamp on the back side of this one with my Angel Policy stamp. Make sure this one's already stamped. Oh, look who, that's right. Look what I did with this one. So I used that little lemon slice in second generation ink, and then I stamped over top with the Angel Policy in full strength. Isn't that cool? I like to do that once in a while when I think of it. All right, I was going to try Wink of Stella on there, so let me just grab my Wink of Stella and we'll see what happens. Could totally ruin it, but I'm only going to take a couple of the designs and try to just get like the centers. Now this will dry, so I'm not too worried about it. So I want 3. So that's 1. How about if we go over here and just do the center of that one, 2. And then let's see, 1, 2. I'm going to go down here and grab that little tiny one. And you can already see that this one's starting to dry and it's getting light. And we'll add those holographic resin dots. wherever I put them. I need a system, which I can't figure it out yet. Still haven't found what I'm looking for. There it is. Okay, I'm going to use the smaller ones. What if I put them over top of that? Oh gosh, this stupid woodpecker is pecking on the garage metal roof. It's so stupid. I don't know why they do that. Maybe there's a reason why, and you guys can let me know, but it's so funny. There. Okay, so we have that all done. And we got a little bit of shimmer here with the Wink of Stella. And then on the inside here. And then let's put these, oh, the envelope. I'm not sure what I'll do with that one yet. But here we go. So we've got my little drink one over here. And then we just have this one over here, which is very plain and simple, but more of a feminine look. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm going to move on to the next card. I got to design this envelope, though, because if I don't do it, then guess what? It's not going to get done, and it's going to be a boring envelope. So let's see what I have here. Excuse me. I'm going to just slap on this designer paper over here and call it good. So I'm not even going to use my trimmer. I'm going to fold this over. Okay, so now I know where my adhesive goes. And we'll just get this a start. It's almost at the end. Make sure I've got it on the correct side. There's a little adhesive there that I'll just smooth out. And then I'll take my scissors and just trim that right off. So this is just another way you can use your scraps, just like that. And that's a really pretty envelope too. So we've got this one here. And then we've got the drink, which was an edge piece from the designer paper. And then this card here matches. And then this one matches. And on these cards here, I did add Wink of Stella on the fruit. So you can kind of, I don't know if you can see that or not, but just wanted to let you know. Add Wink of Stella to those. That'll be a fun thing to do. All right, so that's card number 2. And if you're just joining me, we made, this is my original design for club. And then I made a more feminine look with this one here. Okay. So we'll just pop these over, and I've got another one for you. And there's the envelope. Again, I used an edge piece. And then this one here says cheers to us. And then on the inside, we used more of that designer paper, some white. And then I used an edge piece here, highlighted it with Wink of Stella. So let's see what I'll make with this one here. This is the one I'm using, that really bright Blackberry Bliss. And we'll see how that all looks. So Lemon Lime Twist is my card base color. And that is 5.5 by 8.5. And I've scored it at 4 1/4. So it's going to open up like this. You could also make this card a portrait going this way. If you're using, see, I've already cut my paper, so it would have had to been non-directional, okay, which this is, and so isn't this. So, should I do that? Let me see. You know, I probably should not have used this color. This is going to be, oh, no, I know why I did it. Is because of this. This is what I'm going to make this portrait, you guys. Yeah, let's make it portrait. Oh, that's pretty, you guys. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So we will stamp in, I'm going to stamp with Mossy Meadow. And I do need to clean these again because they've got Timid Tiger on there. I don't want to contaminate my ink pads. And I think that's it. Whew! Having a hot flash, you guys. You have no idea. I gotta turn my fan on. Whew! Man, I thought I was past those, but I guess it never ends. All right, so cheers to us. Yeah, I cleaned that one. This one is going to be Mossy Meadow, I think. Yes, Mossy Meadow. Cheers. And then that one says to you. It's my my husband's our anniversary is in July, so maybe I can just save this card for him. Okay, so cheers to us. And then on the inside, I'm going to say, let's celebrate. And again, I stamped that really quickly because today's super humid. So let me just turn it over. And if you were just to normally stamp it like I would do, is I would hold it down. You're going to get smudging. So see that, how it's a little bit smudged. Whereas if you do a quick up and down, you'll get a little bit better image there on a humid day. All right, I'm going to stamp the back side of this one since I've got my ink already out. And then my envelope. I might use some more of that, my scraps, because I really like to do that. All right, now it's just very simple. We're going to make a portrait look. And we're just going to slap all these on, and it should come together really nicely. Let's grab my silicone sheet here and some adhesive, and let's get started here. I'm going to adhere this about a half of an inch off from the score line there, and it's edge to edge because it's 5.5 inches. All right, so that's the first step. The next step is going to be adding all these together. So this one here is going to go on top of the white. This is the, is it Textured Notes dies? Love them. I know they're on back order. I'm so sorry they are. But when they come off back order, you should order them. They're so nice. All that edging. So this one will go on here. And then I'm going to pop this one up off of this panel of Blackberry Bliss. So let's grab my dimensionals here, what's left of them. Geez, my stomach is growling. I guess I'm hungry. I don't know how that's possible because I already ate breakfast. Not too long ago. It's probably carryover from my hiking. You get hiker hunger out there when you're hiking every single day, burning like 6,000 calories. Okay, I like that, how that's just got this dimension here underneath the white. So we're gonna go like this. We need to add that ribbon in there somewhere. Oh, that's so pretty like this. And we've got cheers to us. This has to be raised up because if you don't do that, it's gonna get lost because that's a really busy pattern. So we'll add these on. And let me grab one more. Let's see, put that there. I'm going to adhere this one straight down to the front. I really like this card. Now I like this paper. Just a little bit of it, not a lot. And then this is going to go somewhere. I might just like put it in right in the middle here. But we need to use the trim. I think I'm just going to create a bow. So I'll get my little bow maker out. I love my little bow maker. See how quick and simple that was? I think what I'll do is put it over here. We'll cut the tails down. Yeah. Or do I go this way? No, I'm going to go this way here. Okay. So a little glue dot here would be great. I'm going to put 2 of them on there. And let's get my scissors out. We can just put them together like this and then angle cut. That way they're the same length. Oh, that's so cute. All right, now on the inside, we've got the Let's Celebrate. And I can't use that side, so I'm going to use this side. Oh, you can see where I stamped. Wait, no, that's the side I want. There we go. This is a little bit smaller. It's not 4 by 5 1/4. It was just a panel that I had. Just a little bit smaller. All right, so let's grab those little resin dots. Again, I'm looking for them. They're way over there. You'd think I'd be able to see those. They're so shiny. And for this one, I'm going to grab the medium ones. I got to leave these bigger ones for something because I think they're like too overpowering. So let's see. Let's put that as a center of the flower. And then maybe down here. And then over here. Actually, no, I don't want it there. I want it down here. Just looked awkward right there. Okay, so there you have it. Here's the one we just made. Portrait mode. I just heard a slam out there. And then here's my horizontal card with the beverages. So I think it turned out great. I like this, just a small hint of it. When it's like really big like that, I think it's just too much. But if just using a small panel of that darker, brighter design works really nicely as well. So cheers to us. And let's see, what do I want to stamp over here? Why don't I just stamp one of these little foliages over here in the corner, and we're good. Oh, let's stamp one on the back side too. All right, so there's card number 3. We've got these two. And then I have one more for you, and then we'll call it good. And I'll repeat, so we just made this one. If you're just coming on, we made this one. Oops, and this is the envelope that matched it. And then this is my original. And then the first one is this one here. And then the original. Okay, so we'll move on to the last one, which is the one that I fussy cut all those little beverages out, which did not take very long. Okay, so these two here are all next to each other, so you just really had to go around it. So they're very, very easy to do. Don't get like intimidated on this one. This one also uses that second embossing folder from the Glass and Gardens. So this is the Gardens, that's the glass. And I'm going to use that as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it the same way, but I will be using it. The envelope, I just cut out one of the drinks there and glued it on the front of the envelope. Inside was just a little bit of designer paper, and then here's the trim on the inside of the card there. Okay, so we'll try to recreate this one about the same way. All right, so I'm going to grab my piercing mat this time to stamp Let's Celebrate. Let me just quickly clean those again. There's not a lot of sentiments in this set, but what I like about it is they all kind of work together. So we got cheers to you, cheers to us, it's your day, let's celebrate, or you can go let's celebrate, it's your day. Just kind of all different ways you can use the sentiments. Okay, so we will stamp this one, Let's Celebrate, and I am going to stamp it with Secret C. I planned on using this design here, but not quite sure yet, so we'll see. But I am going to stamp it with Secret C. There we go. And then on the inside, what did I do? I did no stamping on the inside. Let's find the card base, and we'll stamp the back side of this one in Secret C. And I think with this one, I'm going to stamp the envelope corner with cheers. And I'll stamp the back side too with cheers. All right, let's see what we can make. All right, I'm using basic white thick. Okay, that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I've got a piece of white. So it's very like white on white for today. Now, this you can keep all together, but I'm going to cut one of these off and I'm going to space it out just a little bit. You can use, I would suggest using your paper trimmer to do that. So let me just grab mine off my wall here, and hopefully it's got a nice blade in there. I hesitate using cutting embossed panels. Actually, I'm going to cut it at 3/4 of an inch. There we go. That was good. My blade's still sharp. My cat wants to go out. It's 10 o'clock probably. She's like clockwork. She's gonna have to wait. Okay, so if I make it the same way, we got this and we've got this. And then I cut these like random strips, because what I was thinking of was I might replace this, put this down here. This is a really small sentiment. And then I need the ribbon, which is underneath all of this, and it goes on the inside of the card too. So Cat's gonna drive me crazy until I let her out, but she's gonna have to wait. I wonder what would happen if I go this way. Oh, I think I might have it. I think I might do this. Okay, let's do it. Let's see, my Seal Plus. I'm going to add my adhesive. And then I'm going to add this one up to the top, but about 1/4 of an inch. Border on the top left and right side. And then this one here is going to go down at the bottom. Make sure I've got the, that's deboss, that's eboss. Okay, I just want to make sure I had them the right way. Still don't know if I do or not, but it's okay. Oh, I got some ink on here. Well, hopefully I can cover that up. We go like that, and then this one here is going to get adhered right about there. I've got it right on the bottom edge there. That way I know it's straight. This will get popped up. But this is also going to get popped up too. So I am just going to place it on here for right now. Okay. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to put this down. And then I'm going to add some adhesive right here. Make sure my ribbon is flat. Keep calling it ribbon when it's trim. I guess it doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to wrap this around on the inside, making sure it's flat. And then coming over and securing it right here. And then I'll cut this off. Oops. So with Card Club this month, I am offering a reduced rate for new subscribers and also returning subscribers. It is on my website, inspiredbygraham.com, so you can get all the information there. And then it's a recurring subscription, so you can just subscribe for 1 month, as many months as you want. It's totally up to you. The normal price is $40, and I think I reduced it down to $35 for new and returning for just 1 month trial basis. And then your second month, it will bump up to the normal rate of $40. So Card Club is really fun. I've got some members with me since the very, very beginning, since 2022. And I really do appreciate everyone. It does help me meet my minimum requirement with Stampin' Up. So I'm very thankful about that. All right, so we'll just grab these. I actually like doing this today. Changing the cards into something else, using the same kind of layout, because what the supplies you see me using today is what you would get for club, and you can do whatever you want with them. Now, I think this is more of a masculine look, if you ask me, with the dark secret C pattern there. Yeah, I think that one turned out good. Now, if it's masculine, I would not add any embellishments whatsoever. Because, you know, guys, they'll just love that gold and be good with it. So the envelope we've got here. And then here's my original one with the envelope with the little lemonade. And then, so let's put these all out. I'm going to have a lot of cards here. So let's see if I can get these all on camera for you. So that was that one. This is our first one. Let me find the mate to it. Let's see. Where are you? Here we go. So we have this one. And this one. And then we have this one, which, oh wait, the original was this one. And then here's the one I made for feminine side. And then here's my original. And then I like this one the best. I think this one turned out really nice and I really like it. So there's that one. So again, I used the Cheers and Sips bundle. And it is available to, it was available to order last night. So I'm pretty sure it'd probably be available now to order. And the celebratory sips is, celebratory sips, I think it's called, designer paper. So with Club, you're going to get half of a pack. So it's cut 6 by 12. And yeah, celebratory sips, you'll get a full pack of those holographic gems here, and then you're going to get half of a bolt of this beautiful open weave trim in gold. So All that information is on my website. You can go there. It's inspiredbygraham.com. Let me just see if there's any questions. If not, I'm going to clean this up, pack up, and get ready and to head to Connecticut. So I can't wait to see my grandsons. Finley's last day, half day of kindergarten. All right, so no questions. My cat wants to go out, so I gotta oblige for that. So thanks so much, you guys, and have a wonderful weekend.